Have you ever looked at someone and been genuinely surprised when you discovered her age? Her skin may not be completely free from lines, and she may not look 20 years younger, but there is something about her face that still appears fresh, calm, healthy, and beautifully cared for. In Japan, this kind of graceful appearance is often connected to something much deeper than expensive creams or complicated beauty treatments. It comes from the way skincare is approached every single day. The interesting part is that many of these habits are not dramatic. They do not require filling an entire bathroom cabinet with products, following a 15-step routine, or constantly chasing the newest beauty trend. They are built around protection, gentleness, patience, consistency, and respect for the skin, and perhaps that is the biggest lesson. Healthy-looking skin is rarely created by one miracle product. It is usually the result of hundreds of small choices repeated over many years. So if you have been trying to make your skin look fresher, smoother, calmer, and more youthful, these 7 Japanese-inspired habits may completely change the way you think about skincare. Some of them are surprisingly simple, but their power comes from doing them consistently instead of searching endlessly for something stronger. Let us begin with the first habit. Habit 1. Protect your skin before you try to repair it. One of the most powerful shifts you can make in your skincare routine is to stop thinking only about repairing damage and start thinking about preventing unnecessary damage in the first place. Many people become serious about their skin only after they begin noticing changes. They see uneven tone, dryness, fine lines, rough texture, or dark spots, and suddenly they start searching for powerful products that promise to reverse everything. But a more thoughtful approach asks a different question. What if you protected your skin before those changes became more noticeable? Sun protection plays a major role in this philosophy. In Japan, avoiding excessive sun exposure has long been part of everyday beauty culture. Hats, parasols, long sleeves, shade, and sunscreen are often treated as normal forms of protection rather than something reserved only for hot summer holidays. This matters because sunlight does more than simply cause temporary redness. Over time, repeated ultraviolet exposure can contribute to visible skin aging, including uneven pigmentation, loss of elasticity, and changes in texture. The lesson here is not to become afraid of going outside, it is to become more intentional. If you know you will be outdoors, protect exposed skin appropriately. Use shade when it is available. Wear a hat if you are spending a long time in strong sunlight. And if sunscreen is part of your routine, apply it consistently instead of remembering it only when you are at the beach. What makes this habit so powerful is that it changes the entire direction of skincare. Instead of constantly asking, "How can I fix this?" you begin asking, "How can I reduce unnecessary damage today?" That mindset can save you from spending years trying to repair what could have been protected in the first place. And there is another beautiful lesson hidden inside this habit. Taking care of your skin does not always mean doing more. Sometimes it means simply being careful with what you already have. Habit 2. Cleanse gently instead of trying to make your skin feel stripped. There is a strange idea in skincare that if your face feels extremely tight after cleansing, it must be completely clean. But skin that feels stripped is not necessarily healthier skin. Many people wash their face aggressively because they are trying to remove oil, makeup, pollution, sweat, and everything they believe is making their skin look dull. They scrub harder, wash more frequently, use very hot water, or choose harsh cleansers because they associate that squeaky clean feeling with effectiveness. A gentler Japanese-inspired philosophy takes a different approach. The goal is to remove what needs to be removed without treating your skin like something that needs to be punished. Your skin has a protective barrier. When you repeatedly disturb that barrier with excessive cleansing or harsh products, you may end up with skin that feels dry, uncomfortable, irritated, or reactive. This is why gentle cleansing can be such an important beauty habit. If you wear makeup or water-resistant sunscreen, you may benefit from removing those products carefully before using a mild cleanser. The exact routine will depend on your skin and the products you use, but the principle remains the same. Clean thoroughly without unnecessary aggression. Pay attention to your water temperature as well. Extremely hot water can feel relaxing, especially in colder weather, but your face usually does not need to be washed with very hot water. Lukewarm water is often a more comfortable choice, and notice how you dry your skin afterward. Do you rub your face hard with a towel, or do you gently pat away the excess water? These small actions may seem unimportant, but skincare is often built from small actions. Imagine repeating one aggressive habit twice a day for 10 years. Then imagine replacing it with something gentler. That is thousands of moments in which your skin is being treated differently. This is one reason beautiful skin habits are often boring in the best possible way. They are not dramatic enough to become viral overnight, but they are gentle enough to become sustainable for years. And when it comes to maintaining healthy-looking skin, sustainability matters far more than excitement. Habit 3. Keep the skin comfortable and well-hydrated. One of the most noticeable qualities of healthy-looking skin is not necessarily perfect smoothness, it is comfort. Skin that looks comfortable often appears softer, calmer, and more luminous. This is why hydration is such an important part of many Japanese skincare routines. Instead of depending only on very heavy products, some routines use lighter hydrating layers, followed by a moisturizer that helps reduce water loss. Depending on the person's skin, climate, and preferences, this may include a hydrating lotion, essence, serum, cream, or a very simple moisturizer. But the important lesson is not that everyone needs 5 layers. The lesson is that dehydrated skin often does not look its best. When the skin lacks moisture, fine lines may appear more noticeable, the surface can look dull, and makeup may sit less smoothly. When the skin is comfortably hydrated, it can appear more supple and fresh. The mistake many people make is assuming that oily skin cannot also need hydration. Oil and water are not the same thing. Someone may have skin that produces noticeable oil while still experiencing dehydration or irritation. This is why blindly trying to remove every trace of oil can sometimes make the routine feel like a constant battle. A more balanced approach asks, what does my skin actually need? Maybe your skin does well with a light moisturizer. Maybe it prefers a richer cream in winter. Maybe you need less product during humid weather. Maybe your routine should change when your environment changes. There is no prize for using the greatest number of products. The goal is to help your skin feel calm, comfortable, and supported. And there is something deeply beautiful about that idea. Instead of constantly forcing your face to become something else, you begin listening to it. You notice when it feels tight. You notice when it becomes irritated. You notice when a product is too heavy or too harsh. You notice when your skin is asking for simplicity. Skincare becomes less about fighting your face and more about understanding it. Habit 4. Choose consistency over constantly changing products. This may be one of the most important habits in the entire video. Stop changing everything. There is always a new serum, a new cream, a new mask, a new device, a new ingredient, or a new trend promising to transform your skin. And when you see enough before and after pictures, it becomes very tempting to abandon whatever you are currently using and start again. Then another trend appears, so you start again and again. Eventually your bathroom is full of products, but you have no idea which ones are actually helping. A more disciplined skincare philosophy values consistency. If you have a simple routine that agrees with your skin, you do not need to replace it every time the internet becomes excited about a new ingredient. This does not mean you should never change your skincare. Your skin changes with age, climate, hormones, lifestyle, and health. Sometimes a routine really does need adjustment, but there is a difference between making thoughtful changes and constantly experimenting because you are impatient. Healthy-looking skin often responds better to routines you can actually maintain. Think about the basics: gentle cleansing, appropriate moisturization, sun protection, products suited to your individual skin concerns. These fundamentals may not feel glamorous, but they create a strong foundation. Then if you choose to add something more targeted, you can do so carefully rather than layering every popular active ingredient at once. There is also a psychological benefit to this habit. You stop waking up every morning believing your face needs to be fixed immediately. You stop inspecting every tiny line as if it is an emergency. You begin allowing skincare to become part of your daily life, instead of allowing it to control your daily life. Aging itself is not a skincare failure. Your face will change. The goal is not to freeze your appearance forever. The goal is to care for your skin well enough that it can look healthy and feel comfortable through every stage of life, and consistency gives you a much better chance of doing that than endlessly chasing perfection. Habit 5. Feed the body in a way that supports healthy skin. Skincare does not begin and end in the bathroom. Your skin is part of your body, and your overall lifestyle can influence how you look and feel. Traditional Japanese eating patterns are often associated with a wide variety of foods, such as vegetables, fish, rice, soy foods, seaweed, soups, tea, and relatively moderate portions. Of course, modern Japanese diets vary enormously, and no country has one perfect way of eating. But there is a useful principle we can borrow. Beauty should not depend entirely on what you apply externally. A balanced diet that provides sufficient protein, essential fats, vitamins, minerals, and a variety of plant foods supports overall health, and your skin is included in that picture. Hydration matters too. You do not need to force yourself to drink extreme amounts of water, hoping that it will magically erase wrinkles, but staying adequately hydrated is part of taking care of your body. Green tea is another ingredient frequently associated with Japanese culture and beauty discussions. It contains compounds that have been widely studied, but it should not be treated as a miracle anti-aging drink. The larger lesson is the ritual itself, replacing constant sugary drinks with simpler beverages, slowing down while eating, enjoying moderate portions, and paying attention to the quality of your everyday meals can be more meaningful than searching for one magical beauty food. And notice something important. Most truly useful health habits are not dramatic. Eat reasonably well, sleep, move your body, stay hydrated, protect yourself from excessive sun exposure, manage stress where you can. These recommendations do not sound revolutionary because humans have heard versions of them for generations, but ordinary advice becomes powerful when it is actually practiced. That is why beautiful aging is often less about discovering a secret and more about respecting the basics for a very long time. Habit 6. Make rest and stress reduction part of your beauty routine. You can own expensive skincare and still look exhausted if your entire life is exhausting you. Poor sleep can make the face appear tired. Stress may affect habits like eating, sleeping, touching the face, picking at the skin, or abandoning routines altogether. And when life becomes chaotic, skincare is often one of the first forms of self-care people either overcomplicate or completely ignore. Japanese culture contains many traditions and practices connected to slowing down, bathing, quiet spaces, tea, nature, and creating moments of deliberate calm. We should be careful not to romanticize an entire country as peaceful, because Japanese life can be highly demanding and stressful just like life anywhere else. But there is still a lesson worth taking. Your nervous system needs moments when it is not constantly being stimulated. Imagine ending your evening differently. Instead of spending the final hour of the day jumping between notifications, arguments, work, videos, and endless scrolling, you begin creating a slower transition toward sleep. You wash your face gently, you moisturize, you lower the lights, you stop examining every flaw in the mirror. Maybe you stretch, read, prepare tomorrow's clothes, drink something warm, or simply sit quietly for a few minutes. None of these things are magic anti-aging treatments, but together they create something valuable, a routine your mind can recognize as a signal that the day is ending. Sleep is one of the most underestimated beauty habits because it cannot be packaged into an expensive bottle. You cannot apply 8 hours of rest as a serum. You cannot buy peace in a jar, and yet when someone consistently lives with poor sleep and constant stress, it often becomes visible in their energy, expression, and overall appearance. This is why beauty should not be separated from well-being. Sometimes the most beautiful thing you can do for your face is stop treating exhaustion like an achievement. Habit 7. Respect aging instead of fighting it every day. The final habit may be the most beautiful of all. Stop treating every sign of aging like an enemy. There is an enormous difference between caring for your skin and fearing your age. If you are constantly trying to look exactly as you did 10 or 20 years ago, skincare can become an endless source of disappointment because time will continue moving no matter how many products you purchase. But graceful beauty asks a different question. How can I take care of myself beautifully at the age I am now? That question changes everything. You can protect your skin without becoming obsessed with perfection. You can moisturize without believing wrinkles make you unattractive. You can care about pigmentation, dryness, or texture, while still accepting that a human face is supposed to change. This balanced attitude may actually help you make better decisions because you become less vulnerable to exaggerated promises. When someone tells you a cream will make you look 15 years younger in 7 days, you do not immediately believe it. When someone says aging is something you need to defeat, you do not panic. You understand that healthy skincare is usually slower, more realistic, and more personal. And perhaps this is one of the reasons certain women seem to age beautifully. It is not that time has somehow forgotten them. It is that they have learned how to work with time instead of spending every day fighting against it. They continue protecting their skin, they remain gentle, they stay consistent, they take care of their body, they allow themselves to rest, and they do not destroy their confidence every time the mirror reveals that another year has passed. That kind of beauty is difficult to manufacture because it does not come only from the surface, it comes from the way a person lives. So if you remember nothing else from these 7 habits, remember this: you do not need 100 products to take better care of your skin. Protect it before damage becomes your biggest concern. Cleanse gently instead of aggressively. Keep your skin comfortably hydrated. Build a routine you can follow consistently. Support your body with reasonable nutrition and hydration. Give yourself enough rest whenever possible. And above all, stop believing that becoming older means becoming less beautiful. The goal should not be to become obsessed with looking young. The goal should be to look cared for. There is a difference. A youthful face can still look exhausted, neglected, or unhappy, but a cared-for face carries something deeper. It reflects patience, self-respect, balance, and the quiet confidence of someone who understands that beauty is not created in one dramatic moment. It is created every morning you protect yourself, every night you remove the day gently, every time you choose consistency instead of another unnecessary trend. Every time you rest instead of pushing yourself past exhaustion, every time you look in the mirror and choose care instead of criticism. That is the real beauty secret, not perfection, not fear, not trying to stop time. Just learning how to move through time while taking beautiful care of yourself.